How's it going, guys? J-Rob here with Team Energy Golf Clash, bringing you guys another guide this week for the Liberty Tournament. If you guys haven't already, please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. It helps motivate me to bring awesome guides just like this to you guys to help better your game and get dialed in out there on the course. Now let's hop in to talk about some clubs. So by this time, if you guys have been watching my guides, you know I kind of like to talk about the club setups of the tournament here before, we really get into the first hole. So, I have some clubs up here on the screen. This is basically going to be the club setup that we're going to, want, probably a couple bags here, 1 to 2 different bags. I would run, one with the extra mile, the big dog, have your Goliath in there, or, a long iron that has enough backspin. But the par threes on this one, you're not going to get too messed up here with, long iron shots anyway. But basically, we're going to want to have, a good long iron in there, our short iron, the Thorn, about, probably the Hornet if you got it. We're talking the big dog or the Sniper pretty much for woods though. The Guardian would not be a bad choice either for some of these holes. We'll talk more about, each club and that, for specifics on each hole as we go through them. But basically, just wanted to give you a rough idea of the clubs that you might want to use in your bag. Standard wedges, like always, Rapier, your Firefly, whatever you got, really. Sand wedges, your Malibu, Spitfire, higher level if you got it. Spitfire's not really, that great or much better, until you get it to a higher level. But the Nirvana or the Razor, and, that's pretty much it. We're going to, maybe use the Rock on, like, one of these holes, but the extra mile is pretty much going to do us for, just about every single one of these holes. It'll be all right. So, all right, let's get to it. Let's hop in over and get into this week's guide, the Liberty Tournament, hole number 1. All right, guys, here we got our first hole. This is a par 3. This is actually a fairly nice par 3. The way that I play this hole is straight at the pin. Basically how it has on the screen right there with full backspin, with your Goliath, 2 bars right side spin, and you want to put this one right about where that second dot is on that fairway there. Basically, it's going to be lined up, straight at the pin, but you're going to want to have enough backspin on there to where it hits just that little part of fringe there, and it goes, straight towards that pin. But you're gonna have to get your wind adjustment right, because where it's gonna bounce, it's either gonna hit perfect and bounce straight at the hole, or it's gonna bounce, a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, because there's that little bit of a funky, down slope, and you have to hit it right on the peak, right in the middle of that little hump there on the very front towards the tee on that first fairway there before the green. Hit it right there. Put your backspin on it with 2 bars right side spin, 10% or 0% elevation, off of your drive there, and basically right at the pin. It's pretty straightforward. Good hole in one hole. We should have this one. Good luck, guys.
Perfect shot.
Moving on to hole number 2 here. We're going to play this one with 10% elevation off of our drive. This one's going to be a little bit tricky because we don't want to play it with too much topspin, but not enough topspin isn't going to get you where you want to be to set you up for your second shot. So just about 2 bars topspin, depending on the wind that we have. during the tournament. We're going to want to use about 2 bars topspin and a little bit of left side spin and get it right down towards that red dot in the middle of that fairway, right at the tip of that second arrow, right there in front of that bunker, all the way down the fairway, right there in that ribbed fairway. Get it all the way down there so we can set up a nice second shot. Now, I would recommend either the big dog or, the sniper with a higher powered ball on this hole, because we're going to want to have enough distance to get us up close enough to that green so we can make a nice adjustment for our shot, so we're not overpowering our shot. Because if we do and we have to hit it, because we're going to have to bounce it off of that first little fairway right before the green up on top of that little plateau there of the hole over that bunker, and then it's going to have to, be just the right speed to bounce, hit that, and get on the green without going past it or being too slow and not making it all the way up the hill and rolling back down either into the rough or the bunker. So 0% elevation on our second shot and 10% elevation on our drive, and you should be set up nice. If you get yourself up there by that little ribbed bunker on the fairway, that top bunker, you should set up nice for a second shot. Play it with 1 bar top spin maximum, I would suggest. Play that one just enough so you don't blow it over the hole, but, we don't want to really play this one with backspin going up there. Even, not even touching your ball, like 0 topspin, 0 backspin, like even that would be completely fine. Depending on where your shot is, you'll figure it out, and, we'll dial it in. Just make sure you give yourself enough room. Good luck on this one, guys.
Perfect shot. Eagle.
Alright guys, so moving on to hole number 3 here, par 5. This one is going to be considered a pretty hard hole, because the third shot here is going to be considered a drop. We're going to play that third shot with minus 10%, by the way. 10% on our second shot and 0% on our first shot. 0% elevation off the drive, and we're going to want to get it right down as close to that bunker, that first bunker down that fairway as we can. It's going to bounce near that first red dot, and we're going to want to land it as close as we can to that rough line as we can, but not going into it. And I would recommend either, sniper with a higher powered ball, or the big dog, or the cataclysm, or whatever wood that you have that has the most distance, because you're going to want to get yourself as far down that fairway. The ideal shot would be to get yourself over that circle rough patch in the middle of that fairway there, and bounce near that red dot, and get yourself up near that red dot near the bunker that's behind the fairway. So basically that will set us up for a really nice third short iron shot at the pin, which we will want to play with minus 10%, because it is going up a little bit to a plateau onto the green there. So this is going to be a little bit of a tricky hole here for some people to eagle, and we'll see, this hole here kind of making or breaking some people's tournament. Some people are going to get it, some people are going to make a lucky shot, some people aren't, so this is a pretty straightforward hole. The drive kind of sucks. I feel like they're going to tease us with a tailwind to try to get us to bounce off that first fairway there onto the second fairway, which is, you need like full top spin and like at least like a 7-mile-an-hour wind. I'd say like 5-7-mile-an-hour wind. So if you don't got it, don't even try it, because you're not going to make it. Good luck.
Perfect shot. Eagle.
Number 4. This is a little bit of a tricky par 3 here. We're going to play it with 10% elevation off the tee box on our long iron shot here. And we're going to play this one with 4.5 bars backspin and 2 bars right side spin. The ideal shot here is to hit it at the lower left end of that fairway there, or right at the green where that red dot is, and get it to bounce and sit real nice right up on the fairway there, or get it in the hole, or right up on the green right by the pin. So like I said, 10% elevation, because this one it kind of slopes down just a little bit, and we just need to have enough backspin to get us up on that little bit of a hill there that it has up to the pin. If you play it back on the right hand side of that little hook fairway there, or off that little island where the bunker is, the island bunker shot is it's definitely a tough shot, and so is the right side. You can play it with like a bar of top spin and some right side spin straight at the hole, but it's definitely a really hard shot to gauge, and really hard shot to roll in to get a hole-in-one. So if you want the hole-in-one here, and a really nice chance at sitting yourself right next to the hole, I would try to lay it up there with that shot I suggested, with 4.5 bars backspin and that 2 bars right side spin, and it should get you very, very close, if not in the hole. So, moving on to hole number 5. Alright guys, hole number 5 here. We're going to play a bounce over shot on our first shot here. This one is going to be played with a 0% elevation off our drive. Basically, we're going to want to set up right at the end of where that first blue arrow is, near that red dot, with about 3 to 4 bars of top spin and max right side spin, and just a little bit of curl. Probably about a ball, maybe a ball and a half, 2 balls at max. Basically, we're just trying to get it set up near that third little red dot there in the middle of that fairway, so we can set up a nice short iron shot to the pin, so we can get this eagle on this par 4. Our second shot here is just going to be played with 0% elevation, and you can either play this one with full backspin, or just straight at the pin with a couple bars of backspin, and try to get this one right into the hole. I would suggest doing that, because it's probably going to put you at about mid-distance club. If you do the full backspin approach, it'll put you about max distance approach. So whatever you feel is comfortable, but the full backspin approach, you have to have it like spot on to really get it to roll right back into the hole. So it'll be a little bit of a tough one, but you'll definitely see some people landing this shot. It's definitely not a terribly tough shot to make. So good luck out there, guys, on this one, and definitely try to get this eagle on this short iron shot here. Don't get yourself caught up on the tree there, on that middle tree. You could put too much curl on the right hand side, too much right curl, and hit that tree by accident. But if you do, find yourself in the rough down there or something, don't freak out, because you will have enough distance. Just make sure you have a rough iron that has enough backspin on it that you can lay yourself right up on the green, because you will have enough distance to get there if you have, a higher distance rough iron.
Perfect shot.
So So we got hole number 6 here. This is another par 5. We're going to play this one with 10% elevation off our drive here. We're going to play this one with full topspin because we got to have just enough topspin to bounce where that first red dot is over to where the second red dot is, just enough so it rolls off of that hill, clips the rough, and goes down where that third red dot is. It's a pretty precise shot, but that's just about how we're going to have to play it, unless you want to play to the left side, which I didn't show that here. But you can also play this off that left hill right by the first blue arrow, and you can bounce it down the left fairway. But I would recommend using at least a big dog or your highest, distance wood, and maybe a higher powered ball, so you can get all the way to the green off your second shot. But if you do go with the right approach, the blue arrow approach that I do have shown here, it's a very, very easy way to play this hole. If you clip that rough and get right down there on that part of the fairway on the right hand side, you have a really nice shot to the pin. You could use a sniper or basically any wood shot that you wanted, because you'd have just about enough distance with any one of your wood clubs. But we're definitely going to play this one with a 10% elevation adjustment off the drive, and 0% elevation off of our second shot, which is going to bounce right in front of that bunker where that red dot is, straight towards the pin. If you put too much backspin on it, you're going to end up getting in the bunker, and if you don't put enough, you're probably going to blow yourself past the hole. If you have to put too much topspin on it, you'll end up in the bunker or the rough. Or if you clip the rough and end up in the rough way back near the hole on the tee box off of your drive, then you're going to be in a little bit of trouble trying to eagle this par 5. So good luck, guys, on this one. It's going to be a little bit of a tough one because you're going to have to be pretty precise on your drive here.
Perfect shot. Eagle.
Moving on to hole number 7 here. You can see I have 2 different ways to play this one. Either way that we play it, we're going to play this one with 10% elevation off of our drive. But we can bounce it off of that first little corner of fairway there, where that first red dot is at the end of the first blue arrow. We can bounce it with about 3 to 4, 5 bars of topspin, and a ball of curl, and max left side spin, and we want to get it down towards that third red arrow there on the left side of that bunker, about the U in bounce right there. And we're going to want to set up for a second shot right about where we want our first shot to end, right there by that red dot. So it'll bounce over that rough line and end up where the red dot is, and set us up for a nice second shot here in front of that bunker going towards the green. And we'll put a little bit of backspin on that with a 0% elevation, and we want to aim that right at the pin. We could definitely get the eagle on this hole. So if we have a sniper, I would recommend using your sniper. If you have a decent level sniper on this hole, you can definitely get this one in. But if you want to play it the red arrowed approach that I have on here, you can actually play it with like a higher powered ball, or max overpower, and you can hit it all the way on that little second part of fairway there in front of that rough where that little line of bunker is, and you can hit it off that fairway and bounce it all the way over where I have that other red dot where the greened fairway is, on the fairway leading up to the green. And you can take a short iron approach to the green. And if you feel more comfortable with that, then definitely take that approach. But if you feel more comfortable with like a sniper shot to the hole, you feel more comfortable with the sniper and your accuracy, then definitely go for that one. That's going to be the end of hole number 7 here, guys.
Perfect shot. Eagle.
Okay, so we got hole number 8 here, par 3. This is a little bit of a tricky par 3 here. You can actually make this one in the hole here, like, awesome, with 1 bar of backspin and full left side spin on, like, a katana ball, like 6 bars. But you want to play this one with a 10% elevation adjustment off of the tee box and basically line it up to where it's right in the middle of that little panhandle fairway, where your second bounce is going to bounce just onto the corner of that fringe of the fairway, where it's, you know, your ball guide is kind of like, you know, riding the hill down to the hole, and your ball guide with 1 bar backspin, if it hits that that little part of the fringe and it jumps onto the green, it will literally dang near roll itself all the way down straight into the hole perfectly for a hole-in-one. So if you want to try that, definitely go for it. I'm going to try to show up a video here on the screen of what I'm talking about and the approach that you'll want to take. But you can also take this other red angled approach that I have here, which is bouncing off the top part of that panhandled fairway over to the green. And you can definitely play that way. You're going to want to play it with, you know, quite a few bars of backspin to get yourself, you know, to bounce off that but over to the green, because it's you know, a down slope shot. But that first shot that I was talking about, you're going to want to definitely be careful of where you put your ball guide and your wind adjustment being spot on, because if you don't and your ball messes up, you're definitely going to end up either in the rough or right there in the bunker, because it's going to hit right off that and boom, right sideways into the bunker. So it's going to be a little bit of a tough hole, but one that can be easily hole-in-one if you get it dialed in and perfected.
Perfect shot. Hole in one.
Last hole here, guys, hole number 9, par 5 in the Liberty Tournament. We're going to play this one with a 0% elevation off of our tee box, and play this one with the rock or the quarterback, or, you know, the extra mile at a higher level. Basically what we're going to want to do is put, you know, max right side spin and about 3 to 4 bars of top spin and bounce it right about where that second red dot is, over down that right panhandle fairway, and get it towards that red dot there where the blue arrow is. So we'll set ourselves up for a nice second shot there with either the big dog or the sniper or the guardian. You know, a little bit of a longer distance wood, but if you have a higher powered ball, you should be just fine with the sniper. But basically, we're going to want to play that drive with just a little bit of curl, about a ball maybe a ball and a half of curl, because if we play it too much, we'll clip the rough, and then we'll roll into the fairway or into the rough, and then we won't have enough distance to get all the way onto that little island circle fairway that we need to get straight onto the green. So if we don't have enough distance off of our drive, we won't be able to get onto the green for an easy eagle chip or a nice, shot for an albatross, to be honest. But our second shot here, I would play this one with 0% elevation as well, and play this one with just a couple bars of backspin, straight at the pin, make your elevation adjustment, or your wind adjustment, sorry, and basically, shoot it straight at the pin. You could definitely get a nice albatross on this hole if you make that shot. But if not, you'll be very close, and you'll have a nice eagle, opportunity right there next to the hole to put that in. So this one's going to be a fairly simple hole, but if you mess up the drive, you'll probably mess up your hole. So good luck out there, guys, on this Liberty tournament. Thank you guys so much for being here and being a part of this guide and supporting me and Team Energy. I appreciate everything you guys do and all of your support. I love you guys out there, and hope you have an awesome tournament and an awesome rest of your day. Catch you later, guys. Peace.